Hello and welcome to the Sound Live. My name is Matthew and I am your host. I have an incredible show lined up for y'all today. Eve is going to be here in just a minute, but right now, let me introduce my first two special guests, starting off with Jennifer Valaket. How you doing today, Jennifer?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing great. Jennifer's a fellow music teacher like me, and Jennifer is a saxophonist and flutist. So I'm excited about your pick today, and you've been doing all kinds of new projects, haven't you?
Yeah, I just did a collab with Alip yesterday. That was fun. I did Kiss from a Rose.
Yeah, I didn't understand your thumbnail. Why it had like Terminator or something on it.
Oh, it's Batman because that song is actually they used that in the movie.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
It's Batman.
Okay, I thought it looked more like Terminator to me.
Sorry.
Right on. Cool. And also with me today, I have Kyle Walls.
Hey.
How you doing, Kyle? Kyle's a singer-songwriter and a really cool guy. What's new in your world?
So I teach, and today was the first day with students. So it went really well. I've been at this 26-ish years, something like that. So it's been a couple minutes, as the kids say.
The big one of today, the big one, Alip. Bata. All right. We're going to be getting in here to this new Alip reaction. I have not listened to this. I have not watched it. It's been painful for me to be waiting for my Alip fix here. At this point, I am an admitted Aleeper, an Alip junkie. I'm not going to Alip Anonymous because I don't see any reason to quit. I'm all about Alip. And I'm just gonna keep going with the Alip Bata because I haven't been disappointed once, and that's a big statement. That's a big statement. I've done so many, so many reactions, so many collabs with them. Just I got this giant playlist. It's over 70 videos now of all the stuff I've done about this one fingerstyle guitarist. And it's just because, like, seriously, like, I haven't put on one and been like, okay, well, that was just okay. Alip Bata's brand new song, Pagebluk? Is that how you say it?
Seems a good guess. Good guess, yeah.
Pagebluk? Okay. I don't know what this is. The chat, the comments were suggesting that it might be a cover of some kind, but usually when Alip does a cover, that usually says cover guitar or whatever after it. So
yeah,
I think it's probably an original, but I don't know. I could be wrong. You guys know. So tell me in the chat, tell me in the comments. And of course, like always, I do the chat at the end. I will shout out to everyone.
It has all his links on it, so I'd assume it's original.
Oh, his originals are some of my favorites. I really love his writing. All right. So, Kopi Mana Kopi. Good morning to all my Alipers. I might still be a little early for you, but, I'm just having my last sip of coffee for the day here. I do love my cold brew.
That wasn't a sip.
Man, you should see me with a Scotch ale. All right.
I bet.
And so, without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Alip Bata's new song, Pagebluk. Here we go! Bravo. That was breathtaking. It was so pretty.
It sounded like there was a quote from some classical piece in there, and I can't put my finger on it.
It definitely had a classical feel.
I looked up the song, just Google that title, and there's a few songs by other people. I don't know if that's it. Talking about the classical nod, to me, I was going to say, wasn't this called the Godfather theme once upon a time? I kept hearing that it had a whole lot of that quality to it.
Yeah, it was really dark and foreboding, but it was just, I love the way the composition was just so stitched throughout. And, we were just talking about, like in the very last transition, there was a part where I maybe heard a couple of finger squeaks or something, like a little bit. Like there was a part where it wasn't like, there was a spot where it was 99%, and it was just extra beautiful to me because, then he went back into this other part that he'd already played before with a couple of modifications, but it's like, it reminds me that, he's human. Like, it's really important. It's really important because otherwise it's really discouraging,
Yeah. Well, people always, that's something I've noticed doing reactions, and, like with Dimash and stuff, that people these are just humans making music. It's not magic. It's not like something absolutely crazy. Yes, you can be born and kind of get it better than other people, just like math or visual arts or anything else that anybody can do on this planet, I'm always amazed at people that pretend like, oh, they must be, they must come from on high to be able to do this. That's
we're all human.
Yeah, there's plucking strings, man. They're just, people been doing that for as long as there have been stringed instruments, and
so many harmonics in that melody. And then he switched to the B section and would throw that little behind the nut bend, and I would love how he does those.
I wonder if he has like a filter, because you got to have a melody that hits that certain kind of slurred note on, in a certain range. Right. I wonder if he always adjusts something. He's like, I got to do my G string bend. I wonder if he kind of thinks like that, because he almost always does the G. Because you can see it sometimes, like from the oils from his finger, it's the metal's tarnished from doing that bend up there.
Well, those things are dangerous. You can break your strings, you can throw your guitar out of tune, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt your finger. So, I'm always impressed by those. And even if he's doing it mostly on the G string, okay, hey, it's better than I can do. But,
I wasn't talking about the technique. Okay. I was thinking more, does he look at a song and go, oh, hey, the melody has a slur between this range, so I can do that thing? Because that's part of his signature. Yeah.
I think he hears the bend and then he just does it however he needs to do, because he does all kinds of bends, slides, and everything.
Well, true, but that G string bend, that's one of his signature moves,
and it does have a very very unique sound. It does.
I don't know if it sounds unique. That's his signature. He puts it in. Bending a note's bending a note.
It sounds different than a regular bend, is what I mean. Like,
I get you. It has a different kind of curve to how the pitch change.
Right.
Yeah,
and so it just gives it.
He
slightly
has
different
a
sound.
few signatures that he kind of puts in there, even with the covers that he does, and. Yeah, he's good at what he does, and he's obviously got a ton of views. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Kyle. It's like, maybe you could do something different.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like if,
or am I putting words in your mouth?
Oh, no. It's cool what he does. I don't know if it's so much, do something different. I was thinking take Eddie Van Halen's Eruption and that fret tapping sequence. It would be like if he would use that same kind of pattern, and I forget the particular notes. What is it, like a 7 and a 3? I forget which intervals those are that he's tapping out. But it'd be like if he did that same thing. It's like, oh, here's a sequence, between C1 and C2 that I can do that thing. I just wonder, how much thought goes into it at that level, or if he's just going, this is something I can sing. I always play the melody around these notes. So then it's, just something he can do in any song. I'm just curious about that pattern approach,
Alip he's sort of an enigma, He doesn't want to, I mean, he has a few friends that he works with, but
Yeah.
he's not.
Well,
I don't know. I'm excited, man, because
Yeah.
I liked it. I want to listen to that again and
Oh,
again.
yeah. That's
It
cool.
was sort of mellow. It was like a almost lullaby-ish kind of thing, like at the beginning.
Yeah.
Almost Godfather-ish, you were saying, sort of dark and foreboding. And we have a comment here. Shout out to Agung Sukarjo. Pagebluk is a Javanese word meaning plague. Some people translate it as calamity. The song expressed his concern to ongoing pandemic situations in Indonesia.
Okay, so it is an original. All right.
Yes, it
Wasn't
is
totally sure.
original.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I mean that's why it sort of had a dark, heavy kind of feeling to it, I guess, because he was expressing concern about the pandemic, which we all have.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and-
kind of a nutso situation.
Yeah, and especially because I think that area of the world was like in another lockdown, or might still be, not too long ago. It's interesting with his original music. I was thinking about this in general the other day, and throw this kind of idea out there to you two. It seems that artists that have folklore to them, that's kind of like the signature trait of, are you quote famous or something like that. And I was thinking of all the folklore with Alip. He's got a regular job. He just plays guitar for fun. And it's like, well, then why is he putting out original music and, doing Spotify links and all this other stuff? I mean, and I'm not questioning the folklore. I just find it very interesting that people have created this figure, and think about any quote famous musical figure. You have folklore, like Metallica. Well, when Metallica got together in the Bay Area, they could outdrink anybody. I mean, you could go on and on about all these stories, Lemmy from Motorhead, et cetera, et cetera. And it's interesting to me how all this folklore around Alip has formed, and it's interesting because there's, some indications like, well, he seems to be doing music for more than just fun, which is fine. I mean, more power to him. I mean, I would, if I was in his shoes, if I had some songs start getting millions of views and things, that'd be cool. But it's just interesting to me, that folklore aspect.
Well, and let's just look at it this way, okay? Let's just look at it this way. When you look at YouTube, the way it is today, with the right to monetize addendum that they added to the terms of service, why not collect the money from it? Because if you don't, they're just going to collect it anyway. It's not like you're going to be sparing your fans the ads like it used to be. It used to be if you didn't monetize, your videos didn't have ads. That is
Right.
sadly at least going to be no longer the case, because YouTube is like, you know what? This is wasted revenue we could have. So, more power to them, right?
Yeah.
You put your copyright claim on your music, right? Absolutely. That's why I'm playing my music at the beginning and when we go to take a pee break, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking like his folklore has almost the opposite idea of that. He's just some person, he's a truck driver. He has this grand gift, etc. I'm not saying he's not talented. Obviously I enjoy him and appreciate his talents. I just find it interesting that people focus on this folklore aspect while there's this other side that they choose to not recognize or acknowledge. It's interesting. Kind of like when Bieber went from being the cute teen idol to being the kind of jerk in the media, and was going through this kind of growing period, and it took a lot of people to kind of, his fans to acknowledge, oh, he's growing up, he's changing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right on.
So
Yeah, like going back to what you were saying about people, like essentially like deifying musicians. It's just like, I mean, they're human and they're having human experiences and they feel human feelings, and it's just, I mean, yeah, I have my idols and all that, but it's like, I mean, you know, that they're not gods. They've had to practice for years upon years upon years to get that way, and I really would like to. That's something I kind of want to break down with people, is like the idol. I mean, like the deifying. I mean, because it's just, we're all just humans, and you can do this too.
Yeah.
Right on. You know, and it's my daughter. The other day, she does this. My daughter will do this. It's sort of a tangent, but it relates. She said, "Dad, if you could have any superpower in the whole world, what would it be?" And I said, "I want to have ultra focus, so that when I'm playing music or singing, I want to be able to be 1,000 times more expressive and never miss a note unless I choose to." And she's like, "What? What? You wouldn't rather just like be able to fly or something?" She's 13, so you can imagine. Like, no, like that would be the power that I want. And she said, "But you can like already almost do that." I was like, "Well, almost, but I can't do that. Not all the way. You know, I've been working at it for literally over 25 years on stage. I've been freaking playing. I used to get paid more when I was in my early 20s to play than I do now. You know, it's crazy, like how just everything is worked out. And yet, you know, I was 100% sure. Yes, that is the power that I would want to have. You know, right? Why not?
I mean, the United States music industry is kind of ageist, though.
Oh, totally. It's horrible. Slightly.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go over to other countries, it's not as bad. I mean, yeah, you have your young musicians and artists and all that, but you also you in the culture, and a lot of these cultures that, you know, they appreciate the contributions from you know, the older generations, and you know, that's like that's more of a thing. I mean, in the U.S. we have a very you know, like a sense of immediacy in pop culture in general and in art, and it's honestly one reason why I can't make a lot of money doing progressive metal in the U.S. unless well, at this time in history, at least. I mean, you know, like that was a possibility at one point in history, but unless you're like,
there are a few that have done it.
They have, but it's very rare, and it's I would say it's like, it does take, you know, like a multifaceted approach, which you know, not a lot of people have that.
Going back all the way around to Alip, this all comes out of the discussion of his humility and, you know, money. And dude, what if it's a situation where, you know, because, you know, in America you basically have to have two incomes to survive. What if, like, you know, his family means that he has to like work as a truck driver, and then he also gets a little bit of money from YouTube, so that maybe someone else in his family doesn't have to work so much. Like, you know, I think he should get paid. He's that good.
Well, yeah. I wonder if his folklore will change. I wonder if people will say, yeah, he was just a truck driver, and then his music started to take off. I mean, I haven't heard the narrative change about this story about him. Everyone's like, oh, he has these great gifts. Oh, he just does this. But some things change. And I'm just curious to see if that story is going to change too. Cool. That's all. I'm just curious. I'm a curious dude.
Yeah. Right on. Well, yeah. And, you know, it's just, yeah. I mean, if he wants to continue working as a forklift driver, that's great. You know, that's if he likes his job and he doesn't want to quit.
Was it a forklift or a truck driver? I've heard
he drives a forklift. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and that's one of the things is you only go by what you hear. And that's, to me, that is probably the biggest drive, is the mystique, the person that we think he is, has driven so much attention to him, you know? that because things like that are always interesting to me. How do things take off? And just how do things happen? And it's always fascinating. So
Definitely. Wonderful. I really enjoyed that song. I'm going to be listening to it again. It was really nice. And, it, like I said, there was just that one or two little spots towards the end in the transition where it was like as he was playing, it was just the teeniest little bit of either finger noise or maybe he just didn't hit a note quite perfectly fingered where his finger was slightly a millimeter different or whatever, and it just came out not as beautiful as all the millions of notes before it. And I just love that because, it shows it was one take. It was live. He did play that. That was real. This is not, he's freaking Milli Vanilli-ing over something that he did earlier, but he didn't record it, the video of it. You know what I mean? Like it was, and I love that because, it was 4 minutes straight through. And that seems, if you're not a player, you might not realize how difficult that is. With like that much music and all those changes. And it's like, how many times have I been in a song and then it's like, I'm almost to the end and then I hit one thing wrong and it's like, damn it!
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I want to make sure everybody subscribe to Evelyn Holland, Jennifer's music page, and Kyle Walls. I really appreciate my special guests. You guys are awesome. I really hope that you guys continue with your creative pursuits, and I'll see you guys here next week. Make sure you guys all thumb up this video, share out the stream, and subscribe to everybody here, including Matthew's Music Lesson Studio. And I just wanted to give you all an update here.
Please do.
The studio definitely still needs your help a lot, but I'm starting to receive a little bit of help from you all. So thank you.
Cool.
Keep it coming. MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. I am having a crazy special for online music lessons. Back to school special. No, seriously. $20 for a half-hour lesson that you get to record and keep on your computer. That's crazy cheap, dude. Look anywhere else at the prices. They're way higher than that. $20 for a half-hour music lesson that you record. I do voice. I do all forms of guitar. I do all forms of saxophone. I do all forms of clarinet. Okay? I do piano. I do all forms of ukulele. So whatever y'all want to do, MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. And of course, I need you to help me, everybody on Patreon. If you're interested in these weekly bonus videos we've got coming out, you got to go to patreon.com/Matthew's Music Lesson Studio and donate at least $1 per month. That's a quarter per video. Come on, that's so cheap. LiberaPay.com/Matthews Music. You can support the studio. It's a non-profit. That means they don't take nothing. So I get the highest percentage. That's a weekly donation. Please sign up at LiberaPay.com/Matthews Music to help the studio stay online and grow. Or you can buy me a coffee right now at buymeacoffee.com/Matthews Music. I need a coffee for tomorrow, for cold brew, for in the morning, for when we do the sound again. You could be the one that helps me get that coffee.
Help him.
Yes. And of course you can also tip me on Venmo at Matthews Music. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time on The Sound Live.